If you ever hear footsteps outside your tent at night, don't unzip it. And if you hear someone whisper your name, especially when you're camping alone, that means whatever is out there already knows you're awake. This isn't a legend. This isn't a creepypasta. This is a true camping incident reported in northern Montana, and only one person lived long enough to tell it. In October 2019, a 28-year-old outdoor vlogger named Ethan Cole decided to go on a solo camping trip. Ethan wasn't stupid. He wasn't reckless. He was the kind of guy who carried a satellite phone, had bear spray, informed park rangers, and had camped over 200 nights in his life. He chose a remote forest area near the Flathead National Forest. No signal, no nearby camps, no trails after mile 17. Perfect for content. Or so he thought. Ethan parked his truck at exactly 3:42 p.m. The last thing recorded on his dash cam was him saying, "All right, guys, if this video uploads, I didn't get eaten." He laughed. That laugh would later become important. The hike to his campsite took about 90 minutes. No animals, no strange sounds, no warning signs, just silence. Horror. By sunset, Ethan had his camp set. Small tent, fire pit, GoPro on tripod. At 7:18 p.m., while filming, he noticed something odd. Behind him, about 40 feet away, there were two trees, side by side, and between them, something had been tied. Not rope, not vine. It looked like fabric, old, faded, dirty. Ethan assumed it was trash left by campers, but the problem was, this campsite was marked unused for 14 years. Horror. Ethan zoomed in. The fabric wasn't hanging. It was knotted. Multiple knots. Tight. Intentional. And right below it was a stack of stones. Not random. Placed, one on top of another, like someone wanted it to be noticed. Horror. Slow. Heavy. Not animal. Human. Crunch. Pause. Crunch. Circling the camp. Ethan whispered into his camera, "Someone's walking around my site." He reached for his flashlight, turned it on. Nothing, but the footsteps didn't stop. They stopped only when he stopped breathing. At 11:02 p.m., right outside his tent, a voice whispered, "Ethan." Not shouted, not questioned, spoken like they were confirming something. Ethan froze. He didn't respond. Then the voice said something worse. "You left the fire on." But Ethan hadn't. He had put it out himself, with water. Horror. Against every survival instinct, Ethan slowly unzipped his tent. The fire pit was dark, cold, but standing near the trees was a figure. Tall, still, facing away. Ethan whispered, "Hello?" The figure didn't turn. Instead, it took one step backward without turning its body. Horror. Ethan later said this was the moment he knew this wasn't a person. People turn. Whatever that was, already knew where he was. Horror. His camera caught one final thing before shutting off. The fabric between the trees was no longer fabric. It was a shirt, a modern hiking shirt with a fresh tear and something written on it in black marker. 4 words. You were not first. He didn't touch the shirt. He didn't read the words out loud because deep down he already understood what they meant. You were not first. That wasn't a threat. It was a statement of fact. The forest had gone completely quiet. No wind, no insects, no movement. And in places like this, silence is never natural. Ethan slowly raised his flashlight and aimed it toward the trees. The figure was gone. No footsteps, no sound of retreat, just gone. Horror. That's when Ethan noticed something else. The stacked stones near his camp were no longer stacked. They had been spread out in a wide half circle around his tent, like a boundary or a warning. Horror. Ethan backed into his tent and grabbed his satellite phone. He pressed the emergency button. Nothing. No connection. He tried again. Still nothing. The screen showed a message he had never seen before. Signal blocked. Satellite signals don't get blocked unless something is interfering or someone is too close. Horror. Ethan turned his camera back on, not to film, but to record audio only. Later, investigators would say this was the most disturbing decision he made, because the microphone picked up something his ears didn't. At first, it sounded like wind. Then, breathing. Not heavy, not fast. Measured, controlled. And then, a soft clicking sound. Rhythmic, intentional. Almost like someone learning how to make noise. Horror. Ethan remembered something. A ranger had once told him, if you hear something mimicking sounds in the woods, don't respond. They're checking if you're human. At the time, Ethan had laughed. He wasn't laughing now. At 1:26 a.m., Ethan decided to leave everything behind. Tent, food, camera. He grabbed only flashlight, bear spray, satellite phone, and started walking toward his truck. He didn't run. Running tells predators you're weak. He walked, slowly, quietly. Horror. After about 200 feet, he heard footsteps matching his pace, stopping when he stopped, starting when he started, always behind him, never catching up, never falling back. Horror. Then the voice came back, closer this time, clearer. Ethan, you forgot something. It was using his voice now, same tone, same rhythm, same breathing pattern. That's when Ethan realized whatever it was, it had been listening to him for hours. Horror. Ethan turned suddenly and flashed the light behind him. The beam caught something between the trees. Not a body, not a face, a shape that didn't reflect light correctly. Too tall, too thin, standing completely still, as if it didn't understand motion yet. Horror. The thing opened its mouth, not to speak, but to practice. The sound that came out wasn't language. It was Ethan's laugh, the same laugh from the dash cam from earlier that day. Horror. Ethan ran. He broke every rule. Branches cut his face. He tripped, dropped the flashlight, and when he looked back, there was more than one shape now. Horror. Suddenly, he stopped. Not because he wanted to, because he couldn't move forward. Like he had hit something solid,
an invisible barrier. His camera audio captured him whispering, "It's not letting me leave."
The last clear sound on the recording is Ethan crying. Not screaming, not yelling, crying. And then, the clicking sound again, much closer, right next to the microphone. Horror. At 6:14 a.m., park rangers received a delayed emergency signal from Ethan's satellite phone. The location was marked, but when they arrived, there was no tent, no gear, no footprints leading out, only a cold fire pit and a new message written on a tree. He learned fast. The Rangers agreed on one thing. Whatever took Ethan didn't drag him, didn't chase him, didn't struggle, because the ground around the campsite was perfectly clean. No signs of panic, no broken branches, no signs of escape. It looked like Ethan had simply stepped out of reality. Horror. By 9:30 a.m., the forest was crawling with people. Park rangers, search dogs, local deputies. They expanded the search radius to 5 miles. The dogs stopped working after 20 minutes, not because they lost the scent, but because they refused to move forward. One handler later reported they weren't confused, they were scared. One senior ranger recognized the location. He went quiet. Then he asked for an old incident file, a file that hadn't been opened since 2012. Inside it were photos. 3 missing hikers, different years, different seasons, same forest, same detail. Each campsite had a cold fire pit, arranged stones, and writing on trees. Different messages, same handwriting. Horror. Ethan's GoPro was found, buried under leaves. The battery should have been dead, but when they pressed play, it turned on. No video, just audio. At first, it sounded like static, then breathing, then a voice, not Ethan's. The analysts slowed it down, filtered it, enhanced it. What they heard made the room silent. The voice said, "Say it again." Then a pause. Then Ethan's voice replied, "Ethan." Horror. The voice wasn't copying randomly. It was learning sequence, pronunciation, timing, emotion. One expert described it as a child learning language without a body. Horror. At minute 14:09 of the recording, there's a laugh. Not loud, not forced, comfortable. Exactly like Ethan's. But Ethan's heart rate monitor shows he was not laughing at that moment. Horror. There was one corrupted frame in the data. Just one. Enhanced, it showed a tall shape, bent the wrong way, standing too close. Closer than a human should be able to stand without being noticed. That night, one ranger stayed behind, alone, at the edge of the search area. At 2:11 a.m., his body cam recorded him saying, "Someone's calling me from the trees." The voice used his wife's name. She had been dead for 3 years. In the morning, they found a new message, not carved, pressed, like the bark had grown around it. It read, "Voice acquired." Horror. This wasn't a predator. Predators hunt to eat. This thing hunted to replace. It wasn't killing people. It was collecting behavior. That night, someone uploaded a new video to Ethan's channel. No face, no forest, just audio, and a familiar laugh. Then a sentence. "I made it home." The investigators finally agreed on one thing. This wasn't an animal, and it wasn't a person. It was something that learned by listening. The forest wasn't its home. The forest was just where it practiced voices before letting them walk away. Horror. Every missing person wasn't killed. They were studied piece by piece until nothing human was left to copy. That's why there were no bodies, no blood, because it didn't need the body anymore. Horror. And when Ethan's voice finally sounded perfect, the forest didn't keep him. It let him go. Horror. The final audio was analyzed and archived. Officials ruled it a hoax. They always do. Ethan's body was never found. Neither was his equipment. Just silence. His channel stayed inactive for weeks. No uploads, no signs. Then one night, a new video appeared. No title, no thumbnail. Just Ethan's voice, calm and normal, saying, "The forest was wrong." A pause. Then he added, "But I fixed that." And somewhere far from the woods, someone listening suddenly realized that voice wasn't coming from the speakers anymore.